Welcome to the Divine Healing free intro webinar. So I'm Nicholas David Nann of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. So the purpose of this webinar is just to give you a taster and a direct experience for this amazing work. So maybe we'll start with just brief intros using a small group, just if you want to just say who you are, why you're here. A couple of other people have turned up here. And yeah, what you like from this, just briefly. What drew you here? Robin, do you want to go first?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Yeah.
What drew me here was I met Kimberly, and I've experienced divine healing. I myself am a Reiki master and teacher, and so I'm familiar with that type of work. And after I had heard about it and then experienced it, I feel it's my next level of learning and sharing.
Okay. And where are you?
I'm in Chicago.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kimberly.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. Why are you here?
My name is Kimberly Smith. I'm here to support Robin and, always learning. I'm practicing divine healing. It's completely changed my life in ways I can't even imagine. And I feel blessed to wake up every day and get to do this. And here to support Robin. I think she'd be an excellent healer. And I mean, she already is an excellent healer. I think this will just be a natural extension for her. And I'm also, taking some notes for other friends that I think may want to participate at some point in the future. So curious how about your webinar, Nicholas, but always know that you get a lot of bang for your buck here. So I'm happy to hear and hear more, always learning.
Okay, thank you. All right. Yeah, we're going to make a video which will be on the YouTube channel, so you'll be able to distribute that. So
Nice.
if you feel you're missing anything, you can watch the video later, because this is an energy transmission. So because a lot of people can't actually make the time zone because of work or something in America, so that's why we do the video. So Jordan.
Hello. My name is Jordan.
If you can bring the microphone closer to your mouth, because it's
there. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes. Got to know Nicholas while I was living over in the UK, and got to experience the divine healing through another special individual firsthand, and realized that it is on my path, and so I'm here just to dive in and learn more.
Okay. All right. Diane, if you can hear us.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you like to? Yeah. Diane's the only other person in the UK on this webinar, I think, unless there's a couple of others on the phone. So do you want to introduce yourself, Diane, just sort of say where you are and what brought you here, just so we get to know each other?
So my name is Diane, and yes, I'm calling, I'm attending from the UK, and I got to know you and your work through your book, Your Soul Contract Decoded. And the reason I'm attending tonight, well, I'm curious, because it's true, other than the numerology, I must admit, I haven't really delved into anything else that you've been doing. So for me, it's about finding out what divine healing is all about, and see if I would like to take it further.
Okay, you can do that. We've got a couple of other people here who aren't showing. Someone's called and I'm not sure who it is, but you're welcome as well. So I'm going to switch on the little presentation here. So you'll see the webcams will disappear into one of the corners, but you can move them around, okay? All right. And if you only see 4 people at a time, but if you click on the little chevrons at the top and bottom, you can actually move through the different people there, okay? All right. So I'm going to talk about divine healing, and then we're going to a little bit, and then when you've had enough of that, me talking about it, we're actually going to do some, and you can try it out for real, okay? So divine healing was developed by Almira Ariel Heller. He used to run the Center for Conscious Ascension with me. She developed it with another couple of colleagues and friends of ours who are kinesiologists. And the point of divine healing is to move you into empowerment. We spend a lot of time trying to heal ourselves, heal our emotional issues. And often that requires a lot of time. It's going to clear my throat. I'm just getting over a virus. Energy and money going to sessions. So, and it's a very slow process. And we had been looking for a tool, Mira and I, to clear our emotional separation a bit more quickly than that. And so when we'd searched for a tool for many years, Mira had gone to America, tried to get all teachers of all sorts of other modalities to teach her how to clear her emotional issues, and I want to clear mine as well. We had a lot of heavy-duty power issues. Because while we'd been on the path a long time, we actually felt sort of stuck. We really wanted to make our life happen. We wanted to understand and transform the fundamental underlying program that created our life. And we had the soul contract work, for those of you familiar with it, which is the Hebrew numerology that decodes your birth name, and from that you can actually work out what's creating each moment of your life. But that's all very well, but we knew what we had on board at some level, but we wanted to go and clear it, and that was the tricky bit. And we wanted to, make our dreams come true and carry out our mission of service here on earth. And we, as light workers, we all have very strong visions of what we want to do. So let me ask a couple of questions. So, Jordan, what's your vision for your life that comes from your soul? Just briefly, just so we put some energy into this. What vision do you fully want to live?
My vision is to definitely step into my own voice, and through divine channeling, being able to broadcast the type of information that I receive on a regular basis, without necessarily being chastised.
Okay.
Put in a palatable way.
Okay, thank you. Robin, what's your vision of life? Where does your soul want to take you?
My soul wants to take me to around the world, teaching the light work, connecting people to the source, and helping them live a empowered, fulfilled life.
Okay, thank you. Kimberly, what's your vision? You have to unmute.
I think, what is my vision? To be the best healer possible, and to also enhance my life as best as I can.
Okay. My vision is to bring your vision online, to help light workers manifest their vision. That's my mission. Okay. Diane, what's your vision of your life briefly? What did your soul bring you to earth to do?
Well, for me, the feeling is about bringing to mainstream abstract concepts.
Okay.
And for me, the result would be to reduce, unnecessary suffering.
Yeah, that's a pretty powerful vision. So, in order for us to all manifest our vision, we need to heal deeply, completely, and easily all the lovely programs our ego put in place that block us, that challenge us, that are our karma. And when we do that, which is the purpose of divine healing, okay, we can reconnect to our true essence and tap into our gifts and qualities and begin to deliver them to the world. So I learned divine healing 10 years ago in 2006 when Almira ran the first workshop here in England. And from that moment on, my life started to change rapidly. because all of my programming, which I was well aware of, or most of it, I could clean it out so much more quickly. Okay, and then my gifts and qualities have come online, and I managed to get my book out there and reach a lot of people and make a difference. And if you guys could go on mute if you're not talking, if you're moving around, because the microphones pick up everything. So mute's bottom left, okay? And then the idea of this is to experience more love, joy, fun, and aliveness. Well, it's still work in progress, but it enables you to become the master of your life. So rather than feeling at the effect of the causal factors of your life, you become the cause that affects others by being much more clearer and embodying more of who you are. You start to claim sovereignty of who you are so that you can actually make a change in yourself and in the world. So divine healing, as we said at the beginning, is all about empowerment. It's about self-empowerment, because when you have this tool, you can clear probably 70-80% of your own emotional issues, all right, without having to go to a healing session, and you can clear them when you need to clear them, and you can claim back your mastery as a result. So I did a lot of divine healing when I first got this, nearly every day, but it made such a huge difference because I had so much emotional separation to clear. So, well, what is it really? Divine healing is a multi-dimensional dimensional healing system whose purpose is to open to grace. It comes from source. It comes from many different groups of high-dimensional beings who are here to help us ascend in consciousness and return home to source, which is unusual. Most healing systems come from one place. This comes from many. And it's a very simple, quick and profound and accurate set of healing tools which can be used on yourself for self-healing and on others. So it enables you to work on other people, clients, friends, probably not family, unless it's an emergency. And basically, it is based on the principle of ask and you shall receive. And your higher self, the higher consciousness part of you that made you, that created your ego, created everything that you experience, made you who you are, it built you. So it actually knows how to dismantle all the ego constructs within you if you just follow its promptings, which is what we do in divine healing. So basically, the divine healing allows you to reconnect to spirit at all levels, create self-empowerment, so you can have a program that's bugging you, rather spend weeks or months suffering, half an hour or less, maybe it takes a couple of hours depending on the program. You can clear that program and get on with the rest of your day, and it's no longer bugging you. And you know how people who don't work on themselves tend to get older and look worn out and get pretty bitter about life, is because all these programs are basically weighing them down and often torturing them. Whereas light workers tend to get lighter and younger simply because they're dropping their programs in a hurry, which is what this tool's about. And basically, it's a key to enlightenment. If you worked on yourself with divine healing regularly and cleared your ego, you will reach this place. Yeah, that's what the Tibetan masters do. They are just present with themselves in caves or wherever they go for years, decades, whole lifetimes to reach enlightenment. This is a bit easier than sitting in a cold cave, okay? Because you got to live in the Western world, and you don't have peace and quiet, so you got to find another way to get enlightened, or at least get to a reasonably high state of consciousness. So this is you. This is us. So this is our ego onion. Our higher self and soul design this ego onion, which is all your lovely programming, which is sort of blocking where you want to go. And in the middle of that, once you peel this onion, which is what we use divine healing for, is the flame of consciousness. This is the pure love spark of the divine, of the soul here. And divine healing allows you to find and peel the layers in the right order, because there's a right way to take apart an onion. You can't pull out a really sensitive, delicate bit in the middle, because that would that wouldn't work too well. You peel each outer layer. As you peel them off, your ego gets ready for the next layer, so eventually you get back to the pure love that you are, which is what divine healing does. So what we're doing is we're growing lotuses out of the mud of our emotional separation. This is a Buddhist model. And here's a picture of the mud. This is all our lovely programs. And we're going to plunge into the mud, into the darkness of the unconscious programming we carry. And we're going to bring light to it, awareness. And therefore we will grow lotuses out of it. Okay? So we're transmuting dark into light. All right. So, because it's all one ultimately, it's all one great spirit. God is the spark. God is everything. All it is, whatever you want to call it. And so we're transmuting part of all that is that became separate from itself back into higher consciousness, the lotus. That's the purpose of divine healing. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions. Just switch your mic on if anything's not clear as we go through. It's going to clear my throat again. So I'm going to talk about the core principles behind what we actually do in divine healing. There are 3 requirements for healing. The first is a willingness. Someone else has just come online, so I can. The first is a willingness, a desire and courage to actually want to heal, which is this focus here. The next thing is identifying the issue. Because most of the time people weird stuff's happening in life. They don't know what the issue is, but it could be something very deep in the subconscious. So what we're doing is we're bringing consciousness, which is the light blue here. I'm going to change my pen color. We're bringing consciousness to the issue. It could be unworthiness or lack of trust or feeling abandoned, which is deep in yourselves. So if you bring consciousness to this pattern, what happens is this, is that as you bring feeling consciousness to a pattern, whoops, it's the wrong one, hang on. Can we go to here? Gonna pick this one. As you bring feeling consciousness to that, which is the blue, the sky blue, as you bring feeling consciousness to a pattern, it starts to dissolve. Because what you feel, you can heal. And this is the principle of divine healing. But the ego goes on to us here. So what it does is it goes and does this. It puts this turquoise, icy, emotional shield around our issues. So we numb out, like through addictions and being too busy and not being in our bodies. And it buries the issue because it knows that if you can't feel the issue because it's blocked you out, you can't heal it. And in the West, we've become very much strongly orientated to controlling our emotions with the prefrontal cortex, so we actually don't feel stuff. We don't think about it a bit much. So the issue is buried. Therefore, ego has maintained control over us, and we cannot actually access the program because we can't feel it, we can't heal it. But what we do then is we bring divine healing along, and it basically helps us break through the ego defense mechanisms in the right order. You can't take your ego apart too fast because we destabilize, so that we can actually feel the issue. Okay? And so when spirit comes in, it comes in and helps us. It gently releases the issue. And the thing the ego feared the most, you sort of feel after a while, what was the big fuss about? Why was I bothered about that? Because it's gone. And then you get on with life, and then you work on the next layer whenever that's ready. So usually the ego thinks things are much worse than they actually are. It's a bit of a scaredy cat, really. So that's the core principle of divine healing. So here's how we apply it. So this is who we are at an energetic level. This is a Vedic model. Okay. This is the higher self, the permanent part of you, because we're all pure consciousness, just having a temporary sojourn in a body here. Okay, so what happens here? Sorry, you guys will come on board. I can't actually make you panelists. The system's got a little glitch in it. So the higher self is made up of the God self, the higher emotional body here, and the non-linear mind. So this is the vast encompassing higher consciousness that we actually are. And it decides to send a small part of itself into a body, okay, through this energy called the antakarana. This is the connection to the higher self. Creates a physical body, creates all these 7 energy bodies, the emotional body, and the linear ego mind. And this is what we're experiencing in this reality. And it packs them full of these programs, especially the emotional body. So it creates a sense of being separate from the higher self. So people are struggling away in the reality, trying to find a way home ultimately, trying to find the meaning of life, trying to find out, how do I get back to this? But as you use divine healing, the impermanent personality gets cleaned out of all these little patterns, thousands of them. And that starts to give you access to higher consciousness. And so what happens is when you use divine healing, so this is all about how to become highly conscious or enlightened if you really work on it, and how to manifest your mission, which some of you spoke about. So what happens is that the antakarana expands as you get clearer down here, and unconditional love comes in, grace comes into your life. Life flows. My life used to be torture 10, 15 years ago because I had so much dysfunctional programming. It's a lot easier now. Still a long way to go, but I'd rather have the life I have now than I did 10 years ago. You don't hear many people say, I wish I was 20 again with all the karmic stuff. Maybe they want a 20-year-old body, but they can leave the rest behind. So as you keep working on yourself, the antakarana gets bigger, more unconditional love comes in, life gets easier. Because when unconditional love comes in, and it accepts all your programming here, it means the programs let go more easily. Because our ego judges us continuously. And if you really worked on yourself, this is the state of enlightenment where you completely opened up to the higher self because you cleaned out all the programming down here. And this massive amount of unconditional love comes in. So life really opens and flows in. This is called really being in the flow. Because when you're really clear like that, what happens is the higher self starts to project through you or your clients the higher dimensional energy. It's like a high energy projector. It sends out the high dimensional energy which is projected onto the screen of this earthly reality, which is the Matrix, for those of you who've seen the movie. So essentially, it starts to manifest in the third dimension, the real mission. So once you hit what I call a threshold of soul integration, you will actually start to manifest your mission. But it won't happen until you've cleared enough of your ego programming, which is why we have divine healing and lots of other powerful tools. So this is the key to actually get on with your life. Clean out this, life will seriously happen. It takes time, but it will seriously happen. Okay, but the ego will resist you. But we have lots of ways of taking that apart with grace and ease without destabilizing you. So what happens here is that as a result of all that, most of us initially in life followed the path of the ego, followed the path of suffering, which is the dotted line. There's always something in the way, there's always something blocking us. We're never getting what we really want, we're always getting the opposite of that. So this is a little ego here. And as you open up that antakarana, you access the vastness of spirit, higher consciousness, and you start to make a shift to following what we call the spiritual signature, the path of bliss, to free up your life. And this is called the spiritual signature. And what that means is, this is dark line here, is that in each moment, there is one right action to follow. And if you follow that action, by feeling in your heart what to do next, then life opens and flows. If you follow the left brain, ego mind of the ego mind, it won't flow. You have to work really hard at it. You have to make it happen. But as you get clearer, you start to feel what does open your heart, and you converge on the spiritual signature. This is the life of grace. This is where magic happens, when everyone around you is saying, look, there's a recession and we're out of work and it's not working, and you got tons of work. This is where things just open and flow. And so this is the effect of divine healing, is to get clear enough to follow the signature, the spiritual signature. And that's when you enter into a different space, a different sort of life. Okay? And so that's the point of it, to follow the flow of spirit, and eventually as you become more and more egoless, you reach a very high state of consciousness of grace, and that's a really lovely peaceful state. And then you reach that state of desirelessness, and that state of just being in the moment and having no attachment to whatever's going to happen next, because whatever's meant to happen will happen. And if you got clear enough, it'll probably be something quite nice. Maybe a few surprises along the way, but most of the time it tends to get better. Okay, so I'm speaking from a lot of hard experience here, so this is not sort of a theory, really. How many of you would like a bit of that? Yeah. Any questions so far on that? I go on. No? Okay. All right. So for you guys, I can't promote some of you guys to be panelists because of the way the system's played out. If you guys who haven't got the videos on, you can actually send me a chat message if you want to. Chat's at the bottom. Okay, if you want to communicate with me. All right. Okay. So what happens here, whoops, is that all those emotional blockages we just talked about, they basically steal your life force. I had a call from a client today who had a sudden drop in energy the other week, and he had a cyst in his body, and he said, Nicholas, I feel really exhausted, and I was fine. I was running and really exercising, and this thing blew, and now I feel totally drained. And I said, it's because you just accessed some of your emotional blockages, which have been stealing all your life force and tiring you out. Okay? And you actually felt for the first time how much life force this thing had stolen. And because this thing was physically draining itself because it couldn't stay in there anymore, all the fatigue, all the life force that got stolen, all the fatigue was coming out your body. And said, if you clear these out, then your life force will be released. The block life force will be released, and you'll get this. You will get, by burning through all these the numbness here, the turquoise numbness, you will free up your life force, and you have a lot more energy in life. This is what divine healing does. It actually frees up a lot of life force, because the ego's stolen all our life force, lots of it, and it's trying to hold all the programs down so it doesn't feel the pain of them. But our job is to gently help it let go, and then feel everything and transmute it. So we're going to have a direct experience of divine healing now. Okay. So what I'd like you guys to do is close your eyes, have your feet on the ground, and I'm going to do some. Okay. And we're going to work on what are called, I want you to feel the state you're in right now. And we are going to clear what we call interference and control from outside influences. So this is from level 1 of divine healing. And so we can have negative energy beings attached to us when we're vulnerable, like when we have a shock or give birth or have surgery or go to the pub or whatever. And they can come in from holes in our aura if we take drugs or become intoxicated. And these beings are at a very low vibration. And what happens is that they drop our frequency. If you're healthy, then you're not so affected by it. But if you happen to have a drop in frequency, they can get attached to us and then drain our energy. So we're going to take a few of these out now. So we're going to take out what are called earthbound souls. These are beings who've left a body, but they've got attached to you because you have a resonance, same resonance to what they went through when they were embodied. Okay, so we're going to take some of these out now. So I want you to feel a difference once I've been through these processes. I'm going to clear three different types of beings. Feel how your energy is before and after. So just close your eyes and those of you who are watching the replay, do the same because it'll have exactly the same effect because the full transmission of the energy is stored in the video. So I'll be doing this silently now. So just close your eyes and just breathe through your mouth and be present. Okay. So feel the shift by taking these beings to the light. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take out extraterrestrial presences who can be in your energy fields at the high dimensional level. And they tend to want to observe us and experiment on us energetically to understand how we work because we have a very wide range of emotions on Earth, which is you don't find on most other planets. So we're going to shift these guys now. We'll do this silently as well. I'm just looking down at the manual if you're wondering what I'm doing. So feel the energetic shift that's happened then. So a different sort of interference energy just left. Okay, and now we're going to release discarnates, entities, and attachments, basically the rest. And there's all sorts of energy beings who come along to feed off us and stop us. They're trying to stop us to rising in consciousness, basically. This is their job. So this is a bit of a longer one, so just feel this. Feel the energetic shift. Just taking these beings away now. Okay, so just open your eyes there and we'll just let that integrate and just see how everyone's doing. Okay, so how do you feel, Kimberly?
I feel good. You know what, Nicholas? I had somebody that I was working on last night that had ETs, the extraterrestrials. What did it? So that's also comes in from being vulnerable, or did they just come in to observe?
That's more just like they're attracted just to come and observe and experiment energetically to understand. They essentially want to know how human emotions work, really.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else want to share? You don't have to share if you don't want. Just
I felt my lungs work better.
yeah.
Yeah, like I guess maybe I picked up something in the last couple months, and it was just starting to constrict my breathing. So the more I tried to breathe, the harder it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Anyone else want to share? Just, Robin, you have to unmute.
Okay, thank you. I feel really good. I instantly felt something lifted around the crown of my head, down my neck, and in the palms of my hands. So I just feel more open.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else want to share? Diane, do you want to share? Don't have to if you don't want.
No, it's okay. It's for me. I felt a difference of temperature in the room.
Yeah. Did it rise or fall?
Yeah, and it's interesting because obviously I wasn't aware of beings around, but yes, definitely could feel the difference of temperature, and I'm feeling lighter as well.
Okay, good. We can't see you. The screen's gone blank.
I'm not too sure what's going on here, but never mind.
Okay, we can hear you. That's the main thing. Okay.
Yes.
Nicholas, what did you mean by the temperature? Is there a significance if it rises or falls? Is there a difference?
Yeah.
The temperature, when you have some of these astral beings around, it can drop a lot. Okay. It can drop when they start to do their thing. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially discarnates, you can have the room go really cold and freezing. And if they've been particularly traumatized, it can go very, very cold. Yeah. So.
I have a question about that, Nicholas.
Robin?
So that happens a lot when I'm doing my Reiki sessions in my home.
Yeah.
So what would that indicate, or is there something that needs to be done to not have that?
Is it the room or the person or both going cold?
I think both. The house I have it set, the heat goes, I turn it up and up and up, and it doesn't matter how high. And then the person also is cold.
Yeah, cold in a person is usually shock coming out. Okay.
There's shock coming out?
Yeah, there's shock in the body, shock and trauma coming out of the body. That's cold because it defrosts. It's the turquoise stuff in the diagram coming out of these cells.
Okay.
As you apply it, because it won't like the Reiki, and you're basically melting all the defense systems.
Oh, okay.
Okay, everyone has a lot of shock in them. And
yeah.
The cold in the room could be the interference leaving the body as a result of what you're doing as well. And it's an energetic cold. It's not a physical cold. So it actually won't make any difference what you do with the temperature.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Can I add something?
Yeah, Diane?
Yes, because when I've given Reiki sessions as well, when I felt cold, I've noticed as well, it could be that the energy of the person lying on the bed, the recipient, is absorbing quicker the energy. That's where I felt it as well.
Yeah, that means you've cleared some of the defense systems out. You've got to melt it with a Reiki, which is probably what's been going on. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys ready for another one? Okay, we're going to do another one.
Oh, yes.
So what we're going to do now is I want you to close your eyes, and we're going to do what are called main low frequency programs. So with these, we have 26 charts in Divine Healing, 26 different charts which are being channeled to the system. We're going to do main low frequency programs. So what I want you to do is close your eyes, including everyone watching the video afterwards. And then make sure your feet are on the ground, you're grounded. And I'd like you to breathe through your mouth, because breathing through the mouth helps you to feel what's happening in the body. Okay? I want you to breathe and feel, just be present with yourself for a few minutes. And feel whatever emotion is there and just connect with it, just like we were showing you before, bringing the sky blue of consciousness to the red dot of an issue. If you breathe through your nose, you'll just go into your head. That's why we breathe through the mouth. And be aware your ego may not want you to become conscious and feel what this is, which is the whole point of what we're trying to do. We're trying to become conscious of it. It's okay, whatever it is. It may not be pleasant, but it's whatever it is. Well, that's the layer of the onion that's trying to clear itself now. Become aware of how this program, whatever it is, it could be feeling weak, it could be feeling trapped. You might feel some unforgiveness. You might be feeling a bit guilty about something. It might be an addiction. It might be fear, or you might be angry at something. It's fine, whatever it is. It's important to accept it as it is, because that's half the process of actually healing. Unconditionally accepting it for what it is. Feel however this melee frequency program operates in your life. Become aware of where this came from. You may not get it. You may feel, oh, it's a past life, or came from when I was 3, or it could be something unknown. And it's okay if you don't get a sense of where it is. It just is. But targeting it means you can take it out more deeply. Imagine you're that. Wait a little longer. Now imagine you're that sky blue little explosion of consciousness, and breathe your consciousness to as much of that feeling, that low frequency program as possible, and just visualize it expanding, because you're beginning to transmute it by doing this. And the ego doesn't expect or like this, but you're the one in charge here. Open to all aspects of this low frequency program, whatever they are. Just saw your chat, Ryan. I'll answer the question at the end, okay? Of these healing sequences. Be aware. Sorry, I got something in my throat. Open to all aspects of the feeling, especially an attachment the ego has to it, because the ego loves holding on to stuff. Becoming aware of the feelings of being bad for having it and all the judgment around it. It's very important. The feelings of being bad and judgment. And the more you can open to it and just accept it for what it is, the more it can integrate and heal. Now I'm going to do the command code to clear it silently. I want you just to be present with the feeling, because your presence is taking you halfway into the clearing process. So here we go. Okay, I'll finish the command code. Just feel the shift. So just take a few deep breaths and open your eyes when you're ready. Who want to share how that was? And if you want it, the before and after. You have to unmute. Robin?
Okay. So before, I felt very, didn't have a good feeling in my stomach. And when we started the exercise, I felt the energy there start to open up and release, and in my shin, and again in my hands. And I think it was just opening up to my my own personal power and moving forward. It's kind of what I got.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Kimberly? Kimberly, do you want to say anything?
I had a cold sensation on my feet as well as up into my shins, and felt a lot of feeling like trapped. And then after the exercise, my feet started to heat up. The calves are a little cold still, but the feet started to heat up.
Okay, good. Heating up is a good sign because that means the life force is freed up.
Oh, good.
Frozenness, the turquoise ice has come off. See?
Awesome.
Jordan.
Yes, it was like gloves were taken off my hands.
Yeah.
In a good way. Almost like there was, some kind of dirt or kind of layer on there that was definitely freed up to be able to receive the things that are meant for me to receive.
Okay, good. Thank you. Anyone else? Diane, do you want to say anything? You don't have to, you don't want. So.
Yeah, that's okay. For me, as soon as we started, I could feel my body temperature rising.
Yeah.
So I know that I'm about to release something. So what I do my best to do is to actually breathe and relax, to allow it to come through me, because it's like a wave. It increases. It gets to a certain point, then it decreases.
Okay.
And the picture I had for some reason is Star Trek when they get transported. So I could feel like energy coming down and do like the transporter. It was quite amazing. And the only thought I had, actually the thinking, was distorted thoughts. So with the feeling that I've got obviously distorted thoughts, which give me an erroneous perception of reality, which I need to basically release or rectify.
Yeah.
Way.
Yeah, we're using Saint Germain and the Violet Flame with us, which is probably the transporter effect you're feeling, because the energy's it's blasting through you to clear out.
That's exactly what it was, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we have a question. I was looking at my other screen here from Ryan. Can this being be alcohol or other addiction, not another human or spirit that most think of? Okay. So the interference can be a whole range of things, Ryan. But it's usually they're astral beings with different degrees of consciousness who get attached to like alcohol or in some other addiction. They maintain the addiction. So they feed off the negative energy, negative emotion primarily that in the host. Okay, so they want to keep the negative energy running. That's why they come in the first place, because it's food for them. And you said your brother thinks he was approached and touched by Sasquatch, Bigfoot creatures. Well, I think they're real physical things. They actually exist. It's not sort of energetic interference. It's something different altogether. So I hope that helped. Okay, so got a couple more to do, a couple more treats. So we're going to clear some past life deaths. So what I'm going to do is that I want you to close your eyes. Okay, actually what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to open up the manual here, because let me find the Divine Healing manual for you. Open a manual up, and we're going to go and have a probe around some past life deaths, because 70–80% of what we process is from the past. It's from past lives. Okay, so let's just open this up. Okay, so actually I'll show you. This is the this is the manual here. Okay, I should show you some structure, give you a little time to integrate what you've just done. This represents the 12 DNA strands which we're reprogramming. Okay, let me just make sure. Actually, I need to share the screen. Sorry. So this is the manual. Start again, and this is the 12 DNA strands which create us exactly the way we are. And the manual is made up of 26 charts, as I said, which are based on the letters of the alphabet. Just something arbitrary which came through in just a sec. And Spirit gave Almira and the others their Shakira Shalzin and Mary Lamar, the two who also developed it with her. They gave them 26 different charts as beginning to peel the ego onion. So you can see you've got things like, and we learn all these in the course. We have a frequency of angels to help integrate you. Frequencies to transmute things like these are flower essences. We work with the chakra functions. We work with dehydration, hydration, and water imbalances in the body, because we're 70–80% water, and that holds our emotions. So if you're dehydrated, it means it's hard to get to your emotional issues because you haven't got the water to help feel it. Diagnostic charts like emotions and states. Fears and phobias people face. God consciousness, which is all about how do we separate from God and consciousness, all that is. And there's now a myriad of different ways of doing that. And there are 3 core programs all humans carry in some combination. And the fact of coming into the body means we feel abandoned by God. We don't trust God, and we feel unworthy of God's love. And everything else in the human experience is a subset of those 3 core separation programs which come from embodiment. Hidden ego agendas, like the ego may want to hang on and fight the good fight, or may want to do something, and it's all unconscious, but it's actually creating havoc in your outer life. Interferences, which is just what we've been working on. Judgments and beliefs we have about ourselves and others. Key psychological conflicts, deeply embedded programming that really makes a mess in life. We diagnose what's stressing us in life. Low frequency programs, we've just done that. Energetic nutrition. Well, that can be like anger, pain, whatever. Nutrition, which is energetic nutrition to help us integrate what's going on. O, which is original cause and time, age of cause. That's used as a diagnostic chart, because when you know, you can feel a program, if you know where it came from, targeting it through time, space, and dimensions, you can take it out much more deeply. past life deaths, which is what we're going to do, because that will be programmed into your cellular memory from the soul cellular memory if it wants you to heal it and process it. The chi energy in the subtle bodies, we actually have charts for repairing the subtle bodies and cleaning them out of blockages and making how so you can function better. Clearing blocks to positive living. Sabotage, which is a good one. If you've been trying to do something for a while and you keep sabotaging yourself, the program will be in here. Traumas, most humans have a lot of trauma. Universal archetypes, certain roles we play in life, or actually the archetypes sit in the collective unconscious, and we usually resonate with one or two core ones that drive the way we behave unconsciously. The energetic impact of vaccines and toxins, which are designed to keep us unconscious. Diagnosing where things are in the body that we need to work on. Healing symbols. Yin and yang, polarity balancing. This is balancing the male-female imbalances in our body in different areas of our life. And we have Zapit charts. Basically, these are quick command codes for clearing things. So we're going to go to the past life chart here, page 60. So I want you to look at this past life chart, and one of these is going to jump out at you, okay? I'll scroll down to the next one in a minute. Just have a look at this. I'll zoom it up a little bit. Okay. If one of these jumps out at you, just take a note of it, or just, your eye will be drawn to it probably. Okay, I'll just scroll down slowly, because we're going to go and clear it. Okay. You might have been killed in the war, strangled, cholera. Yeah, so, okay. So get a sense of how many lifetimes are involved. Just asking your mind how many lifetimes are involved, and a number will just come to you from the higher self, and that'll be the number. Okay. And when you got that, because we tend to die the same way a few times just to get the feel of what's going on here. All right. So I'm just going to stop sharing now so I can see you all. So now what we're going to do is we're going to clear that past life. Okay, so close your eyes and be aware of the feeling in your body, because it's going to start coming out your cells. Okay. All right. I'm going to silently clear that past life. So just be with the feeling, because the more you're with the feeling, the deeper the clearing will actually go. Okay, the healing's complete. Just keep your eyes closed for a bit there. And just take a few deep breaths when you're ready and open your eyes. See how that was. Jordan, how was that?
Interesting. Definitely.
Close to your mouth.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah,
swing it up.
Definitely a interesting experience. A lot of release through my neck and shoulders. Crucifixion jumped out at me.
Yeah.
And the narcotics. So it's definitely been interesting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to share how that was?
Actually, can I ask a question, Nicholas?
Yeah.
About past lives in general, because I've gotten to a point where I'm clearing just so much well, I mean, obviously past life, but the past life deaths. I'll do a healing on myself, and it'll be like one little thing to clear, and then it jumps right to a past life death. I've done like hundreds of them. It feels like it's not quite hundreds, but it's up there. So, are they wreaking havoc in our lives, or what? I'm always curious about what the significance is of the past life deaths in our current incarnation.
About 80% of what you're experiencing is you processing past life issues.
Right. No, I know that. But what about the deaths specifically as it relates to this?
Well, it creates a very strong cellular memory when you die, particularly, horrific way, as you can see from the list.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to keep coming up until you resolve it in this life.
Okay.
It has a huge impact, those sort of deaths.
Yeah, I've had a lot of them, apparently.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I didn't used to like sharp knives or swords probably in the old days.
Well, I've had a bunch with guillotine, all kinds of stuff. This one was obliterated, but yeah. Okay.
Jordan?
Yes. Quick question. So if we were dealing with obesity in our past life, would it be one of our goals to, in this life, work through that? If that was a major cause?
Well, what was the issue? It broke up then. So.
If obesity in a past life,
okay, yeah.
Would that be something that could have to be a battle in this life in order to definitely move past that cycle?
Yes, it could.
Pattern?
Yes, it could. Yeah. Robin?
So my experience was being suffocated.
Yeah.
As a young child, I saw myself as a young child, and I just saw the heaviness come over my face. I felt it all through my face and my neck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you probably don't like having things around your head or your face now, do you?
Pardon?
You probably don't like having things around your head and your face.
No.
No. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I just want to sort something out on the other computer here, just to see. Okay. Okay. Diane.
So for me, well, I suppose it was very interesting. The first word that came up for me was throttle, and then treason.
What was it?
It's throttled. It was above treason. Is one of the words above treason. And
is that a French word? I didn't quite catch that word.
Throttled.
Oh, throttled.
Yes. Sorry, the French accent.
Yeah.
Probably. And then my eyes went on to treason.
Yeah.
And then all over deaths.
Yeah.
So I must admit that did feel weird, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And but I could feel, yes, some tension in my body, most of all in my back and my shoulders. And I tried to relax into it, but I can still feel it. So I will report that it's still in processing. My body is still processing when it just happened.
Yeah, you're having a whole full cellular release, I think. That's what's going on. So.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're going to help. When we do sort of these deep sort of charts, we actually then infuse integration charts. So I'm going to infuse some energetic nutrition. So you can have an amino acid, an essential fatty acid, a mineral, or a vitamin. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen again. You can pick one. So let me just that's prior to that. Hang on. So I'm going to show you these minerals. So you can pick one. So I'm going to scroll through slowly. One will jump out at you and just eyeball it. And then once you've done that, you put it in what we call the divine healing stack. It'll just be in your energy system. Okay. So let's go through slowly. Okay. Another page of minerals and vitamins. Okay. Might be one of these that you want. I got selenium just then. It jumped out at me. Okay. I'll stop sharing the screen now. Just close your eyes. I'm going to do the command code silently, and this is going to energetically infuse into you and help integrate all that we've done so far. So here we go. Just close your eyes to receive this. It's gone in. Just open your eyes when you're ready. Jordan, how was that? How was that nutrition?
It brought a smile to my face. MSM is what jumped out to me. I'm not exactly sure what MSM was, but I do appreciate it.
Yeah, MSM is is to help you rehydrate. It's a natural substance. I can't remember the full chemical name. It's very long. So, Robin.
I chose platinum. I have no idea. I mean, other than platinum gold, but platinum. And when I closed my eyes, I felt this infusion of whatever the energy in the lower back of my body.
Okay, good. Thank you. Kimberly?
I chose our taurine.
Yep.
Yeah.
How did it feel?
I think okay.
Yeah.
I'm still not, I still don't feel a lot. So, yeah.
Work in progress. That's the whole point.
Right.
It's okay to be wherever you are. That's the whole point of awakening. Diane, how was that?
Well, that was interesting to say the least. I felt wrapped into whatever I picked up, which was, I think it's leucine and gold,
Yep.
and MSM as well. But I really felt, completely surrounded and wrapped up into all of it.
Okay, good. So it's just
that feels definitely good.
it feels good, yeah. Because when we process and dig out deep stuff, we've got to actually infuse something just to calm us down and integrate. Because we can't keep just clearing stuff. Like you got to, if you peel the layer of your onion, you got to give a bit of time just to let the thing integrate and settle down before you do anything else. So, okay.
Well, definitely happening.
Okay. Thanks, Ryan, for the sulfur for MSM. Brian had borax there, yeah.
Nicholas, can I ask you a question about integration?
Yeah.
Through divine healing. So I'm kind of all over the place with the integration and trying to assess how things integrate. And I know it's different for different people, right?
Yeah.
But is there any kind of parameters with respect to the energy integrating, or any kind of information you can give me about the integration process or how long it takes?
It takes us. It's about choosing the right chart that feels right, and it will take as long as you just have to feel when it's done. Usually, the energy feels busy for a while when you're integrating. Then it sort of goes busy, then goes, oh, it calms down. Then you know you're ready to do the next chart. That's about the best way I can describe the feeling when you're doing it. Okay, it's not something you can sort of measure that it should be 30 seconds. It's usually just a 10, 20 seconds. It might be a 30 seconds a minute. Depends on how deep the clearing chart was. Okay.
But when you're doing it to other people and after a healing, how long does it take to integrate?
Oh, you mean after they've left the session?
Yeah.
Oh, that can take 2 or 3 days. Might take a week. It depends how deep
Yeah, I've seen some longer. Yeah.
Might take 7 to 10 days. Might take a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm pointing. So there's no rhyme or reason and no general. Okay. That's what I'm experiencing. I mean, I've done healings on people and it's like integrated the next day or 2 days later. And then there's others that, have taken 2 weeks, 3
Yeah,
weeks. So, yeah.
that's not unusual, depending on how deep you go, really.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. So, that's the experiential side, guys. Hope you enjoy that. So, are there any questions people have about what we did, or just divine healing in general? That was sort of a direct experience, so you could try that out. And you guys who are as just viewing it, because I can't get the system to bring you up as panelists, like Cheryl, Ryan, and Tajinder. If you've got any questions, just put it on the chat at the bottom. Okay, you see the little speech bubble, and I'll answer them. Okay, if you've got any questions. So, anyone got any questions on the processes or just the whole system? Because it takes us 4 days to go through all 26 charts when we actually teach the workshop. But this is just a little taster of it. So we teach you in depth how to do it.
So I have a question then.
Robin.
Want to study divine healing? Can you talk about that? Like, what is it like to study it when there are courses and so on and so forth?
Yeah. The courses are. I think someone's got a question. Okay. Yeah, Cheryl. The whole thing's been videoed, and I will email the YouTube link to everybody afterwards, so you won't miss out. Okay, and you'll get the transmission of everything that happened. So the training consists of 4 days. It's done on Zoom, and because everyone's spread all over the world when we do this, and it's runs from about, where are you, Cheryl? Robin, you're in Chicago, so it's 6 hours, trying to figure out the time difference. So it runs from 7 o'clock Central Time for you to 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Okay, and it's 4 days. It's quite intense. The way we teach it is that we basically go through the manual, and I teach you all the 26 charts, but we go through in a unique order for each class because we create a group consciousness with everybody, and we open the divine healing space, which is what I did with you guys before you came online, and I'll close it later, because we align you to your higher self. And basically you get I demonstrate every chart. Some I work on you just as a group, but the more complex ones you actually work on each other. And with Zoom, the reason we use Zoom is because we can break you up into virtual rooms. I pair you off in 2s or 3s if there's an odd number, and you go off and you practice on each other. So I explain the theory of each chart. I demonstrate on somebody if it's a more complex chart. I just do the chart on you if it's a very simple one, once you've got the principles, and then you practice on each other. It might take half an hour each way, or an hour each way, depending on which chart it is. And then I come into the different rooms and supervise as if you're in one big physical space. So you get to practice with every chart on, you give and receive with everyone else in the class. You get to actually work with everyone in the class, and everyone gets every healing that happens. Okay, so you may not have had it directly, but if it happened in another virtual room, you got that healing. So basically you get a massive 4-day healing. Then you need to lie down for a few days afterwards. If it's particularly strong, I wouldn't recommend doing too much for at least a day or two. And so it's experiential learning. It's theory, demonstration, lots of practice. And we weave our way through all the 26 charts that you saw in their unique order, depending on what the group as a consciousness wishes to work on. Okay, that's actually the essence of how the training works. So it's very much hands-on, and we send you the manual. The manual you saw there, it's about 90 pages. You get a PDF. You need to print it off. You have it in front of you, and basically I just take you through the whole thing, explain how the whole thing works, and you directly experience and do it. Okay, does that help, Robin? Is that clear enough? Okay, I just got to read the chat here. So, okay, Cheryl saying this. I've tried so many healings for years, and it heals layers, but it never feels deep enough that I can't reach my gifts and purpose and abilities. How much is the course? Okay, so the Cheryl, the reason that we often don't get to the deeper stuff is because there's a lot of protection systems in this, and divine healing is designed to gently undo those protection systems so that you can get around the ego's defenses. It's very clever because the higher self built the ego, so it knows how to dismantle the ego protection systems. And most of them are unconscious, but it does it in a way that's not going to traumatize you. It's going to take you to some stuff you didn't even realize was there, but when you get to it, you realize that's what was creating this whole thing going on my whole life. That was the one. And when it's gone, you suddenly feel, because divine healing is really clean. When it's gone, sometimes the client doesn't even remember what you just did, because it was literally like you take it out with a scalpel, and it's like it wasn't there, but it had tortured them for their whole life. It's that powerful at times. You know, I have a very armor-plated ego, the way I'm built, and divine healing was the only thing that got through, and it really made a massive difference. Okay, so just make sure I've answered all that. So it's 4 days of doing this. This is level 1. There are 4 levels, and each level is a builds on the previous one. Basically, it takes your original lower levels deeper, and then it gives you even more powerful tools. So it's an Ascension tool, really. It's about getting home. So just want to show you. Cheryl's gone and said how much is it, so I need to look that up to tell you exactly. So, okay. So the training is 412 UK pounds, or about 530 US dollars, depending on the fluctuating exchange rate. It's changing a lot at the moment. Okay. And the deposit's 139, and the US dollar equivalent's about 180. And you can find out more about it at divinehealingtraining.com. The next course is in about a month's time, the 16th and 19th of February, and it'll be 1 to 8:30 p.m. UK time. Okay, let me just find the website. I can't remember them all the times, so I'll find it for you. Let's see. So this is the web page, the divinehealingtraining.com. Whoops, I don't want that. So the training times are, because you're all spread out, there's more videos on here, more testimonials. Training is 1 to 8:30 UK, 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Central, 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time, Standard Time, 5 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Pacific Time, because most of the people who come on the site are either from all the way from California to Europe. That's why we set it this, so pretty much everyone can be on. 2 to 9:30 p.m. if you're in Europe, 11 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. if you're on the east coast of Australia, so Australians turn up, and New Zealanders also turn up as well. 2 to 9:30 a.m. is for the really strong ones, but they do it. It's better than flying all this way. And that's sort of times that run. Okay. I hope that clarified things, Cheryl, for you. And I don't know, Kimberly, do you want to share your experience of the training, because you've been on it? So.
You know what? It was kind of it kind of blew me away. I actually initially had taken the class to heal myself, and I was shocked at the end of it that it really did turn out to be my bliss, and I had I just have a kind of a knowingness about healing other people. I mean, but now I have a tool in order to do that. And I was a healer in a different way, more in business than I was, but anyway, this completely changed my life, and I opened up to my bliss, and it was shocking to me. It was really shocking, in the best possible way. And I have been healing myself all the time. I become like a little guinea pig to myself, and I do it to my little nieces and nephews who love it, and they're fairly conscious children, so they've been telling their parents, well, just have Aunt Kim heal that. So it's been quite funny in my family, because it's really taken my family for a loop, in the best possible way. But independent of that, it's just opened me up to a whole new world, a new way of healing that just resonates with my soul. And I feel blessed, and I feel giddy almost doing this, as much as I do it. I just love it. And watching people's lives transform before me is probably one of the biggest gifts that I get to see, and I get to be a witness to it and watch people change. And there's no amount of money that can capture that feeling. It's really an amazing feeling.
Thanks, Kimberly.
Sure.
Yeah. I hope that gives you guys a feel for what it's like. It's totally transformed me, which is why I teach it, because I don't know how I could have got this far in life without it. I'd be in a serious mess 10 years on if I had not got into my programs. I couldn't be doing what I'm doing now at all. Impossible. Probably would have given up by now, but it's allowed me to move to a much better place in life at all levels. And to have that peace we all seek, having a lot more peace rather than being emotionally tortured by all these programs and interference energies and all our past lives. It's tough being in a human body, but if you've got this sort of tool, it makes it a lot easier. You can actually get on and enjoy life and deliver your mission. So many of us as light workers come here, but we get trapped and fooled by our egos, and the mission doesn't happen. We have mission failure a lot of times. God sends a lot of us, but we need tools like this so we can actually get our mission online.
Hey, Nicholas, somebody just popped up. I saw something arise on the chat about trauma.
That's Cheryl. Okay, so Cheryl has said to everyone, so could it heal years of trauma and depression? Yeah, there's trauma charts in level 1, Cheryl, which we can work on, and level 2 has even deeper shock and trauma ones, very powerful ones. But you can do a lot with level 1, and the depression is due to the blocked energy I showed you earlier. It's due to this here. Let's just try and maximize the screen a little bit. Get rid of that. Depression is caused by this. It's caused by I'm trying to get my little pen up. Here it is. Depression is caused by emotional blockages, you see, and you block the energy. So depression is basically you've lost your life force. So divine healing targets these guys, and as you start to release them, it takes a bit of time, but they might have been there a long time. It then allows you to do this. You basically dissolve, transmute the blockages, and then the life force frees up. Depression starts to go away. Life comes back, you see. So yes, it is possible with focus and dedication, which is what this is about, to actually free up the life force and become undepressed, become happy again. It does take time to peel the onion, but once you have a tool like this, you sort of begin to wonder, how did I do without this? And there's not much alternative but to get on with it, really, because at least you know it's going to get better. Whereas most people don't feel life's going to get any better, and they give up. Or they struggle to the end, they get really grumpy. Okay, so I hope that helps, Cheryl.
Can Nicholas, can I interject something?
Yeah, go on.
I've, struggled with, after taking a drug, I had a suicidal depression that lasted for 15 years. And I literally went all over the world looking for help with it, and a lot of trauma in my life. And I'll say this to anyone. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing what it's done, and it's actually in record speed. I know you said it takes time, Nicholas, but treatment time versus with a therapist versus divine healing time is just it was so transformative. I mean, a woman came to me who had a depression, and she thought it was the empty nest syndrome. Turned out it was an abandonment depression, and I healed her in one setting, in one healing, and she just is tickled and over the moon. So it depends on what it is, but I've had a fair amount of luck treating depression. A lot of people come to me with that. So it's just amazing, the quick transformation. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it can be nice.
Without drugs.
Yeah, it can be nice. Yeah, it's cheaper as well. You don't have to.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. That's the best part.
Yeah. Yeah, just sort of, you just got to be cautious not to sort of say it can definitely do something because you don't know how someone's built. You don't know what's behind your depression, Cheryl. It might be one session, it might be a few to actually get to the core program. Yeah. But if you're really dedicated, it can be done. If you can to get around the ego defense mechanisms, you can completely transform your life. So if things are stuck in life, like in personally or your business, the key is to work on the inner part of you with divine healing. I say to people who are running their own businesses, the most important investment is in you, because if your business is blocked, it means you're blocked. Okay. If your external reality, say if work is blocked, you say you work for someone else. If that's blocked, it's you're blocked inside. You clear that, the blockage at work shifts. Okay. So, it's very powerful, and you can spend a couple of hours working on something, or 5 minutes. It just depends on what you're doing. I carry it around. I carry the PDF on my smartphone, so it's never too far away. If something happens, then I can just spend 10 minutes clearing something and get on with the day rather than suffering for weeks or months. So I hope it's given you guys a good feel for it, how it works. Any final questions? Or put questions on the chat as well, you guys. Okay. No? Okay. So if you want to join us in February, just go to the divinehealingtraining.com, and then you can find out more detail about the course. Or contact Antigone Langley. Her email is on there. She's the training administrator. She wants any logistical or any other questions about the training. And Cheryl, you just like, is there a way to find local healers? So Cheryl, this can be done remotely on Skype or Zoom. It's just as effective online as it is in person. Okay, so Cheryl, where do you actually live? Do you want to tell me where you live? Let me see, there's someone around if you want to see someone in person. I'm not getting a response at the moment, but yeah, it can. Yeah, so the beauty of this tool is that if you train as on your Montreal. Oh yes, I know someone in Montreal. I'll send them to you later if you want to. Or I'll email it to you later. So the beauty of this is you can do it in person, because like in North America, people are spread out. Most people work on Skype or online simply because of the distances are too great. So it's just as effective online, Cheryl. And the beauty of working online is that your reach is as far as the English language, basically, or whatever language you speak, or French in your case as well, Diane. So that's the beauty of it, because there is no time and space ultimately. It's just one great soul. So therefore, that's why remote healing works. So you can build a business from doing, as long as you've got an internet and you've got a good connection, you can do it. I was working in New York in October when I was over doing some teaching. I did some sessions for about 4 days, and no one knew where I was unless I told them. I was near Manhattan, and the sessions work just as well online. I do about 80-90% of my work online with us. So,
Nicholas, you know what? I do almost all of my divine healings online, or if not, as a surrogacy. And what I like to do is have people at home in their own space because they're more comfortable, and it kind of helps to bypass the ego. So I do almost everything online, and connect with people in their homes. And I found that to be extremely effective. There are a couple people, like in the very beginning, that was like, really, you can do this online? And there was some resistance, and they just love it now because they can just plug in, get the healing, and then they don't have to leave their bedroom or their couch or whatever. So I've found it to be like unbelievably effective. It actually helps for people to be home, I think, because they're more relaxed.
And also, they don't have to get in the car or travel, and they can just go and lie down or
Exactly.
stay lying down afterwards, you see.
Exactly. And it just, I mean, they get it at first, but, I had to scratch my head too. Like, really, you can heal me from there? And, so, yeah. So I would encourage Cheryl, I mean, yeah, you want somebody that you can connect with, but it doesn't have to be live. I mean, it has to be live, but it doesn't have to be in person.
Yeah, so Cheryl, if you're interested, you can look at Free Up Your Life with Divine Healing here, which is the sessions I offer, if you want to try that option out. So look, it takes you to this page here. This talks about the actual sessions here. It just forwards to this page here. So it just tells you all the different things it does. It does a vast amount of stuff here. And we can work online if you like. I'm 6 hours ahead of Montreal if you want to do that. Okay, so, and if you guys are interested in the training, it'd be great to see you there. We don't do a hard sell. It's got to just be if it feels right to you, if you're drawn to this. But it's very powerful and a very fast way to change your life completely. More testimonials, any other information. That's just another webinar. 16th to 19th of February, and just click on the PayPal button at the bottom if you want to join. You secure your place here with a deposit, and we have a lot of fun, don't we, Kimberly, doing this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Okay. All right. So, are there any other questions, or is everyone okay? Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, so I will email you all, those who have attended and those who are who registered, YouTube video. It'll be on our YouTube channel, so lots of other people will be able to see it, just so you're aware of that. And thank you for your time and total engagement. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Take care.
Thank you, Nicola.
All right. Bye.
Bye.